Welcome to the final episode of season 2 of DLTV. Thank you so much for joining us today. Didn't we have a great season? Come on now. We laughed, we cried, we cooked, we baked, we played a game, we had a giveaway, and we looked inside of ourselves, didn't we? For healthier living. Listen, before we get started, I want to share with you what's to come. For the next 3 weeks, I am going to share with you replays from season 1. My top 3 videos from Destiny Love TV season 1 will be played for the next 3 weeks. And then sometime in March, I'm going to pop in on you to give you the details and instructions for our game and giveaways. We're going to be giving away clothes and shoes and household items for men, women, children, and it is going to be so exciting. Every week, I said every week, in April. So if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. What better way to start the spring than with a little bit of fun? All of these items are going to be free to you, but there are some instructions and details. So stay tuned. Listen, I have 3 sons after being married for 13 years. And when we divorced, my sons moved with me. My 2 elder sons were shot in the head in the same place at the same time. While my youngest son and I, my baby, this is my baby, we were at a completely different event. I married very young, so I grew up with my kids. I enjoyed raising them, but come on now, 3 knuckleheads, you know that it was a challenge. But we kind of came up together, if you will. So anyway, this particular day, my youngest son and I had to go to a rehearsal for an event that I was going to be singing at. For those of you who do not know, I've been singing all of my life and most of my adult life professionally. Anyway, he wanted some mommy and me time, so we stopped by my rehearsal first, and then we went to see some silly movie he wanted to see. And then this happened. Let's go.
January 15th, the year 2000. It was 2 weeks before my 18th birthday. I was 17 years old. The day I got shot in the head. My brother and I were both shot in the head on the same day, January 15th, 2000. That's a day I'll never forget. You know, I even remember how that day started. You know, we were out and about helping one of my boys get his car fixed up, and we're moving around the city. And we arrived back home probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock maybe, when right before my mom was headed out for choir rehearsal or to do something at church. And so I just remember Mom's was right on her way out the door, and she kind of turned around and looks back at us, and you know, she tells us, like, please don't go anywhere tonight. Like, I don't want y'all to leave tonight. I just got a strange feeling within my spirit. And generally speaking, we listen to Moms when she has that kind of discernment, you know. And however, on this night she left, and maybe about an hour later, a friend of ours came by, and we were hanging out, and we all kind of decided to go and hang out at another friend's house over in Gardena. You know, I mean, by this time, even though I was 17 years old, I mean, at this time, I'd already graduated high school. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I was pretty much grown, you know. So we kind of made our own decisions, you know. But that day, you know, Moms did ask us to stay home. And generally, we did listen, you know. But shortly after, we were kind of hanging out at my boy's house for a little while, a couple of hours hanging out. A few hours, and then we decided to leave after the Laker game went off, and we were on our way back home. Now, as we were on the way back home, traveling down Van Ness, I noticed I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I've got a friend of mine that's driving, and my brother is in the back seat, kind of nodding off. He's pretty much asleep at this point. But I noticed in the rear view, I can see a car just kind of driving erratically behind us. You know, they're just, you know, swerving the lanes back and forth, swerving the lanes back and forth. And I'm in the rear view mirror. I've always been kind of aware of my surroundings. And So I tell the driver, my boy Hurst, like, hey, bro, watch this car behind us, you know what I mean? As they kind of get a little closer, I tell them, look, bro, just let them, you know, swing around us and let them keep it pushing, you know. But, you know, they ended up pulling right up next to us and stopping, you know, and had a little verbal exchange in the car, you know, and, you know, I'm trying, the whole time I'm imploring my boy, like, look, man, you roll off, bro. Like, we don't know these fools, like, roll out. You know what I mean? We ain't sitting here having no conversation, you know what I'm saying? Drive off. You know, I keep telling him that, bro, drive off, you know. But anyway, he wanted to kind of be tough and had a kind of little exchange with the car back and forth. But, you know, anyway, the dude pulled out, you know, 2, like, 9s or 2 guns on him, you know what I'm saying? And just let us have it. Let the whole car have it. Boom, 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 boom. You know, and, you know I got hit with one of the first couple rounds. He hit me smack dab in the center of my head right here. You know, my brother in the back seat, he got hit.
That's when I got hit right through right here, and then another one hit right here. The bullet was lodged in my head.
Yeah, it was tough, man. It was a scary night, you know. For me, you know, I felt, even though I was hit and I can see my head was bust open, I'm leaking, but I could see that my brother was more in distress, and I was more afraid for my brother. I thought he was gonna die, you know. And so, you know, I pretty much jumped in the back seat with him and grabbed him and consoled him and just let him know it's gonna be all right. You know, I told my boy to drive us to the hospital right now, and he weaving through traffic. He jumped on the wrong side of the street, and I mean, it's like a movie, man, you know. But he get us to the hospital in, you know, less than 10 minutes. You know, we pull up and we walk in on our own 2 feet. Me and my brother both kind of carrying each other into the hospital, you know, and we sit down and you know, they got us taken care of. It was crazy though, because, you know, once we get in the hospital and we sit down at the window, you know, and I tell the lady, like, look, man, we need to see a doctor, you know, right now, me and my brother, you know, we just got shot, you know. And she was like, okay, well, look, you know, can we sit down and fill out some paperwork? And I was like, you know, we both had like our shirts taken off and like over our head, like to, you know, soak up the blood and whatnot. But, you know, I took my shirt off of my head and I pulled the one off of his head. And I'm like, I said, we just got shot. And she looked at us and was like, oh, and I mean, she ran to the back, got us out, they came in there. But when I took that shirt off of my brother's head, like, I noticed like the bullet fell right from the crown of his head right here, and it fell onto the floor. It's like a fragment that was like lodged right there in his head and never penetrated fully. I thought that was crazy. But, you know, they got us in there, and moms came a little bit after we arrived, because my boy gave her a call, told her to come down. And, you know, I remember my grandparents arrived first, and then my mom came, and she was just, you know, a wreck. You know, I just remember when, you know, I first saw her, she was like, man, I told y'all not to leave, you know. And I just broke down and, you know, cried, because I knew, like, man, you know, you was right, you know. And I just know that, you know, the doctor was kind of explaining to her, like, what the situation was. And, you know, they go, like, you know, we can't explain. We don't know what happened. I mean, they're both shot, but they're both survived. And we can't understand it. Mom, she just go, you know, well, I know what it was. I know. And she went and ran through that hospital. I know. And she was praising the Lord through that place. I'm talking about all up and down the aisle, all up and through each room. I mean, and everybody just stood back quietly with their head bowed down and just let her go in. And I understood, you know, what that meant, you know, because we came this close from losing our life. And even in that moment, realizing the kind of stress and pain and hurt that I caused my mom, you know, it was a tough pill to swallow, you know. And so, Yeah, we definitely got taken care of, sewn up, stitched up. They put 18 stitches here across my forehead to close me up. The bullet did not penetrate my skull. Apparently, what they were trying to say is it may have ricocheted off my head. You know, I've always been hard-headed. I guess that's what they say, you know. But it did leave a little slight bleeding on my brain. But, you know, it was good. I healed up from it, and everything was good. Nice and healthy now, no issues. So, yeah, that was a cold night right there, man. Definitely. You know, I would say that it definitely changed me in many ways. You know, initially I didn't really see like any change. I think I kind of wore it like a badge of honor, you know, almost kind of felt invincible in a way, you know. But, you know, right away it did help me understand like how fragile life is, you know, and that life can be gone in a second. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, obviously stuff that we hear all the time. We understand that this life can be taken from us in a split second, but to actually experience that and at that age, you know, I think that kind of opened my eyes and gave me a different perspective on life, you know, and helped me understand that, you know, life can be gone within a matter of seconds. So you got to make the most of this life while we're here, you know. It also helped me understand how, you know, how powerful God is, and just, you know, that he has the ability to do anything. Because for me and my brother to both be shot in the head on the same night in the same car in the same way, like, and we both survive, you know, there's nothing short of a miracle, you know. And so yeah, that's pretty much been my experience.
Well, how they getting shot changed my life. Well, before I was shot, I mean, you know, I was like the to himself dude, shy, bashful. You know, my mama always used to say, "Oh, you shy, you bashful. You need to get out there." And, you know, but I just wasn't. I wasn't like that. But it changed my life, man, because I had my kids. I met a beautiful woman, you know, and it made me move different. Like it made me not be so selfish, you know, and basically think of others, you know, and I was really knee deep in the streets, and God gave me a wake up call, you know. Uh, those bullets was a wake up call, and I appreciate the fact that I learned from that, and really my kids and my woman, and as well as myself, changed my life, you know, because I don't ever want to be not present for my family living the way I used to live. And I love my mom for being there and just giving us the love we needed. You know, I know at the time we were stubborn, hard-headed, you know, didn't want to listen. But I appreciate that woman to the death of me. And I appreciate my kids because that's who really, I changed my life. And I changed the way I move now. I respect life more. You know, I respect my peers more. You know, I respect my family more because I could have lost my life, you know, at the age of 20, you know. So I just thank God that I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? And I just appreciate a woman in my life like my mother to be there. And you know, it's it's been a roller coaster, you know, since the past 22 years, but I'm here for a reason, you know. And I believe I'm here to a second chance to take care of my kids, my family, you know, and just to be a living testimony, you know, to let everybody know, you know, the street route, that ain't the way to go, man. You know, people got family, kids, you know, I done indulged in a whole lot of things, but getting shot, almost losing my life, that's a wake up call. That taught me a whole lot. And like I said, God got me here for a reason. And I'm gonna utilize that reason.
You know, I just really appreciate the fact that God spared my life. You know, that really truly showed me that God is real and God can do anything. You know, I felt like literally God sent angels down to intercept those bullets that day. And had it not been for that, you know, it could have just been another statistic, you know. And but I'm glad we survived, you know. Got 3 beautiful daughters now, and that's my life right there, you know. And it lets me know that's part of the reason why God spared my life.
Now, wasn't that phenomenal? Come on now. That was divine intervention. I couldn't even talk about that for at least 5 years after it happened without crying because it was so overwhelming and would take me right back there to the power literally of God and who he is and all of his glory. God is love, simply put. And when you have a purpose and a call on your life, we all do, and you have not yet fulfilled it, you're going to be on this earth and given the opportunity morning by morning to fulfill those opportunities that come your way so that you can walk in your destiny and your purpose for being on this earth in the first place. But listen here, that is not the end of the story. In season 3, my youngest son and I, we are going to share with you our experience with that phenomenon, that divine intervention. Boy, was it overwhelming. But I'm excited to share it with you. We have to tell the world about this because miracles do still happen. Anyway, we love you. God bless you. We are so grateful that you have joined this journey with us. You know, healthier living for your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit, right? A little laughter is good for your soul. Playing games and having a community where there's positive messages coming across the airways to you and to your family and friends. So once again, like, share, and subscribe. We are looking forward to seeing you in season 3. But until then, look here, we have some stuff to do, right? We have some games and giveaways. And do not forget to put it in the jar. What you're supposed to put in the jar? Your partnerships and your suddenlies. And anything that's happening in your life that's good, that's propelling you forward to where you want to go, to goodness and mercy, following you all the days of your life, boo, put it in the jar. It's like a puzzle piece. And at the end of the year, we're going to get this puzzle and we're going to pull the pieces out and see how far we've come in our healthy living. Until next time, I got a slideshow for you. Check it out. We love you. God bless you.